What's up, everyone? Today we're making
雞蝦煎麵 Hong Kong style。
My name is Randy, and we are the Laos. We're on a mission to celebrate and pass down our Chinese heritage, one meal at a time. After 50 amazing years as a Chinese chef, my dad's finally retired and he's here to teach you all of his secrets to make the perfect Hong Kong style noodles, a dish he's made thousands of times.
朋友們，大家好啊！今日同大家介紹呢個呢，就係港式煎麵。有好多餐館有啲人叫話佢要兩面黃，但係喺嗰啲廣東嘅餐館入邊呢，多數係要香港式嘅煎麵。
If you've never had this dish, it's basically like a noodle pancake that's extremely crispy on the outside and tender on the inside, coated in a delicious savory gravy along with a variety of tasty vegetables and meats. Even though this dish is commonly known as Hong Kong style noodles or Hong Kong chow mein, the name is a little misleading as it's not originally from Hong Kong, nor is it stir-fried, which is what the word chow would suggest. As my dad alluded to, the original name is Leung Min Wong, which means yellow or golden on both sides. It originated in the Suzhou, Shanghai areas and was brought down to Hong Kong in the 1950s with the wave of Shanghainese immigrants. From there, the dish quickly caught fire as Hong Kong chefs adapted the unique technique of letting the noodles slowly form a crispy layer on each side. Nowadays, Leung Min Wong or Hong Kong style noodles are enjoyed all around the world.
我哋今日咧都係用12安士嘅麵，麵咧呢啲麵咧有生麵有熟麵。我哋而家咧就同大家介紹用生麵，熟麵好容易嘅啫。熟麵即係你按照個包裝入邊佢教你點樣做。 就點樣做就得㗎啦，都已經熟咗㗎啦。我今日咧就用呢個生麵，生麵咧我亦都係要蒸過先至愛嚟煎嚇，咁樣咧佢會個口感會好好多。我而家咧就將啲麵蒸過嘅先蒸熟佢先嚇，倒啲滾水落去，咁快啲嚇。好啦，我而家將啲麵擺落去。 滾水即係蒸10分鐘咁上下就得㗎啦，好快脆嘅啫。
For this dish, we'll be using about 12 ounces of Chinese egg noodles, of which there are many different types, varieties, and brands that offer them. For simplicity's sake, here are 3 of the most common Chinese egg noodles: wonton mein, lo mein, and chow mein. We'll want to use chow mein, also known as Hong Kong-style pan-fried noodles. Chow mein is the ideal type of noodle for the traditional flavor and texture profile we're going for. They're thinner than lo mein and have less egg content than wonton mein.
今日咧，我哋用嘅材料係咩咧？係用蝦仁大概係6安士咁上下嘅啦。你中意食多啲，俾多啲冇乜所謂。跟住咧，我今日選擇係用雞胸肉，仲有咧蘑菇、白蘑菇，俾少少紅蘿蔔，俾少少葱粒，葱段嚇。呢個咧。 白菜係大概係8安士咁上下。
We have all of these ingredients listed on our blog at madewithlao.com, along with step-by-step instructions and video clips to guide you as you make the recipe at home.
我而家先切雞肉，成1磅咁滯㗎，我仲少少夠啦，唔使咁多。當然你又想食晒㗎，我俾晒佢就唔緊要咯嚇。不過就太多啦，俾晒就雞肉咧就切片嚟㗎，切片一片片一片片。 得吧？
咩打橫切啊？
又係都橫紋咯，嗰啲紋，我整啲紋係咪？呢啲紋係咁樣嚟噶嘛，我哋咁切咯，係嘛？嗱，睇住，明白？睇到嘛？我點啲生粉落咧，醃咗佢咧，啲雞肉會爽，會滑啲㗎啦。一個茶匙，啲咁多夠鹽啦，少少就夠啦，唔使太多。一個茶匙嘅水，多啲啲。我哋攪勻啲生粉㗎，攪勻啲生粉佢。
Stir the cornstarch slurry and chicken for about 30 seconds until the chicken is evenly coated. I also wanted to make a special shout out to thank all of our wonderful Patreon supporters for helping bring this video to life. If you enjoy our videos and are interested in supporting us directly, head on over to patreon.com/madewithlao to learn more.
雞肉就切好咗啦，啲蝦咧就唔需要再處理啦，因為啲係蝦仁攞翻嚟就佢已經去晒腸㗎，乜都唔使就咁得㗎啦。菜白菜仔嚟㗎嗬。 我哋點樣切咧？如果係大棵嘅咧，切到4下，睇住嚟呢度中間，一下，咁樣。啲細啲嘅咧，就切到2下就夠啦。 啊，切2下就可以噶啦。啲大棵嘅咪切4下咯。仲有紅蘿蔔係少少夠噶啦。薑咧，要少2片啲薑角啊，叫做。薑角嚟啦，咁切咧，擺喺度。葱咧，葱欖叫做咁切。呢就夠啦。呢啲白蘑菇嚟嘅，我哋將呢個掟佢，一開熱得啦。假如有朋友話唔食肉㗎，咁你唔俾肉都得㗎，蘑菇啊、菜啊，咁俾其他嘢就得㗎啦。如果你唔食肉㗎，料就係咁多嘢啦。嗱，我哋切好晒嘢之後咧，麵就得啦。睇下麵，而家熟晒啦嚇，熟晒啦，我哋拎佢取佢，我拎起個蒸架佢，將啲麵倒翻佢落嚟。
而家點解你落？
你咁樣俾啲滾水再浸過佢之後咧，佢唔會咁硬啲麵，個口感會好啲，唔會硬嘅嚇，知道嘛？好啦，撈佢啫就得噶啦。OK。
Once the noodles are done, we'll drain them into a colander and start fluffing and separating the noodles with chopsticks.
等佢乾身啲就煎得噶啦。
係咪好緊要整鬆啊？
整鬆咗佢，等佢唔好黐埋啦嘛。咁整佢乾身啲之後煎起上嚟，佢唔會黐埋咯嚇。
Next, we'll heat our wok on a high heat for about 2 to 3 minutes. If you're using a non-stick pan like this one, use medium-high heat to help protect the non-stick coating. Then we'll add 1 tablespoon of corn oil. Swirl it around the pan and let the oil heat up until it's shimmering or forming ripples across the surface.
好啦，我而家俾啲麵落去啦嚇。
For the noodles, we want each side to become a crispy golden brown. We'll cook each side for about 6 to 8 minutes, occasionally turning the noodles but not stirring or breaking into the layers.
但係你唔係好快搞啊？
唔使煎啊嘛，唔使搞噶，煎你佢黃色咁就咩煎香嘅，慢慢煎。
點解要轉啊？
因為個爐嗰啲火咧唔係度度都係咁均勻㗎，係咪？多數係後邊嗰度咧熱啲嘅。
哦係。
佢係因為嗰啲火係咁，就算係餐館都係後邊嗰度係熱啲嘅。我屋企嗰度煮嘢咧都係後邊嗰度熱啲嘅。要煎到佢香，煎到佢黃色。 所以佢有啲餐館叫做兩面黃，點解叫做兩面黃咧？即係佢兩邊都要煎到佢黃色，所以咁就叫做兩面黃。但係廣東餐館咧就多數叫做港式嘅煎麵。其實呢個煎麵咧，你可以用咩材料都得㗎，用牛肉又得，用雞肉又得，用蝦又得，甚至你係我唔食肉㗎，俾啲 mushroom 啊、菜啊、broccoli 啊嗰啲菠蘿都得㗎。嗱，我哋屋企煎咧就用油少啲，就唔使要煎耐啲咁多啊。如果喺餐館做嗰啲餐館咧，佢用多啲油燒咁樣好快脆就得㗎啦。但係屋企咧就慢慢嚟啦，又唔想咁多油，知道嘛
？OK， 你點知道得反轉啊？
嗱，睇到㗎，嗱入邊係咪黃色啊？係咪黃色啊？係咪？係咩？睇到係嘛？睇下黃色啊？嚇？我用咗反轉個殼。 睇到嘛？睇到嘛？金黃色嚇，睇下黃色，兩面黃咪兩面黃啊，咁咪兩面黃噶啦。Hong Kong style 嘅煎麵係咁噶啦，嗱，再煎埋呢邊就得噶啦。我哋再俾少少油落去。
點解加啲油啊？
啲油先有啲油先炸煎得佢香啊嘛，知道嘛？頭先弄咗1個湯匙，而家俾埋1個湯匙落去。
你一開始要煮幾耐啊？
一邊起碼煎10分鐘，一邊我哋屋企要煎咁耐，餐館就唔使。餐館就用好多油，屋企咧唔用咁多油，所以要煎耐啲，知道嘛？得㗎啦。OK 得㗎。先炒一啲雞先嚇。
We'll cook the chicken for about 1 minute before adding the other ingredients.
俾埋啲葱薑落去。
Let the ginger and green onions cook for about 45 to 60 seconds before adding the shrimp.
啲葱同埋啲薑，平時你切細啲，點解今日係咁大啊？
呢個菜係咁樣嘅，同埋炒菜咧要切係呢個啦。俾埋啲蝦落去炒佢。
We'll let the shrimp cook for about a minute until it starts turning orange. For this step, the chicken and shrimp don't yet need to be fully cooked because we'll still be cooking everything more later.
好，我哋不死啲菜、啲雞肉同啲蝦先。好啦，即係仲有啲油喺度，我哋唔使再俾油啦。將啲菜俾落去，再俾埋啲蘑菇落去。嗱，呢個煎麵咧要好大個芡汁鋪上個面㗎嚇。我而家要俾12嘅安士嘅水咁上下啦。好啦，將啲菜煮熟咗之後咧，呢度多咗㗎，唔使添多，就得㗎啦。
Cover the pan and let the vegetables cook for about 4 minutes.
好啦，而家俾埋嗰啲蝦同埋雞落去嚇，咁樣咧啲蝦同埋雞先至唔會煮得太熟嗰陣嚇。我哋而家咧落啲味落去咯喎，用鹽咧大半個茶匙夠啦嚇，落啲少少糖上去，就3/4嘅糖啦，雞粉咧個茶匙咧。 當然雞粉你可以唔落，我就想佢俾啲雞粉去增加佢個汁嘅鮮味，係嘛？蠔油咧呢個湯匙，咁已經就俾齊晒嘢啦。你想唔想試試啊？好味嘛？OK， 而家我哋開始較個生粉上去啦。個芡汁咧，我要俾個半湯匙，水咧1個湯匙咧夠啦。將佢攪勻，攪好晒都。 啲粉先啦，好啦，嗱，攪勻佢，個汁咧要慢慢俾個匙羹攪住佢啊，因為倒晒落去咧，佢就會結，有啲係唔攪唔勻啦。嗱，咁樣嘅情形咧就未夠咯喎，未夠粉咯喎，就再加多啲喎，加多半個粉上去，因為佢芡汁大。呢個煎麵咧，佢個芡汁一定要大啲先好食，係嘛？ 一個茶匙嘅麻油上去，嗱，好啦，搞掂晒。我而家咧就擺佢上嚟，啲菜咁夾咗，擺佢先。叫到落嚟。 OK， 呢個就係雞蝦煎麵 Hong Kong style， 紅堆食耶！
睇住你點？
Oh yeah, that's it.
Okay, cheers！
講煎麵
Cheers！ 唔該食嘛，都唔想。
Oh, I'm so happy.
That
Yeah.
tastes good.
You get a crunch?
Swallow.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like them?
10 嚇，10。
Okay, so 4 people asked, what's the best type of noodle to use?
如果煎麵你梗係用呢隻麵啦，有麵啦，有啲熟嘅，有啲生嘅咯。熟嘅咪唔使蒸咯，生嘅咪蒸過先至煎咯。
Is fresh noodles best for this dish, or can you use dried noodles and rehydrate them?
乾麵都得，乾麵淥過之後咧就拎起佢，唔好俾水煮得時間長，一散開就已經拎起佢啦，唔好再會煲咗咁耐啦，煲耐佢會黐埋。
Peter from Patreon asks, if you buy
fresh noodles, can you freeze them and use them later?
得
Yes.
一定得。
We do the
Oh
same
yeah,
thing.
you do. You have a lot of
我
those.
呢啲係擺 pizza 嘅，
We always do this.
我呢啲麵都係擺 pizza 嘅。
Because when you have the fresh bag, it's kind of big. Before you freeze it, do you want to pull it apart, make it into like 4 bundles?
Yeah，
Yes.
係啊，分開你咪一包包分開咁，你咪唔一攞出嚟唔使話一次攞晒出嚟咯。
Oh.
So for us, Daddy always separate the small bag.
Okay. Is it yummy?
Oh! So a lot of people asked about crispiness. How do you get the most crispy noodles? This is our most popular question.
多啲油，而家係最好脆咧，煎到佢俾多啲唔多油煎，煎好佢就脆好脆啦。個煎完咧，你唔好等咁耐食。
A lot of questions too about, is there a way to use less oil?
我哋屋企煎就已經少油嘅，你知道嘛？如果大西館做啦，好多油咁樣，一定要有油先整呢個脆。
How do you make the noodles not stick to the wok?
如果你蒸嗰啲麵嚟煎咧，就永遠唔黐鑊。如果你係咁煲熟啲麵咧，就或者會黐，都會多數會黐鑊。而家好似嗰啲有啲唔黐鑊嘅嗰啲唔黐嗰啲鑊咧，就 OK 啦，咪唔怕咯。
Judy from Patreon. She's also twice on.
Hi, Judy.
She asked what kind of oil?
corn 啦，corn 油就花生油同埋啲 corn OK 啊，有啲菜油都得，但唔好俾嗰啲橄欖油。Yeah.
You should generally avoid olive oil for anything that involves higher heat. This is because olive oil has what's called a lower smoke point, which is the temperature at which the oil stops shimmering or rippling and starts smoking or burning. Smoking oil isn't always a problem, and sometimes it's even desired for getting that perfect wok hei in your stir fry, but it's a sign that the oil is breaking down, which can release burnt or bitter flavors or even harmful free radicals. Here's a chart that highlights the smoke points of a few of the most common cooking oils. There are a few other factors that go into selecting oils, like whether they're neutral or flavored, or refined or unrefined. Most cooking oil is created by extracting and compressing seeds and nuts, and oils that are unrefined, raw, or virgin are usually bottled almost immediately. They generally have more nutrients but a lower smoke point and shorter shelf life. Refined oils go through more processing for a higher smoke point, longer shelf life, and a more neutral flavor. It's not totally true that you should avoid olive oil, since you can buy either refined or unrefined varieties. But for simplicity's sake, for frying, you generally want to use neutral, refined oils like vegetable oil, refined olive oil, or corn oil. Tim from Patreon asks, what if you're using seafood?
得。
得，日日得。
一樣咁做啫，一樣咁做。魷魚我咪曾經講過，我打邊爐前咪講過剪魷魚，切開佢，切開佢，解佢。我打邊爐前咪講過整啲魷魚點整嘅，
Okay.
係咪？
Watch that video.
係啊。
I was gonna ask, so this sauce was a little bit more of like a white look. Is there a brown version of this? I feel like I've seen a brown one before.
冇錯啊，我呢個又係冇咁深色嘅。如果係白肉，都係雞胸肉。如果俾個深色落去咧，就冇咁靚啦。每一樣個配料俾咩嘅色落去唔同。俾牛肉啦，同埋啲雞髀肉嘅嗰個色咧，就俾啲黑個蔬菜落去啦。
即係俾老抽。
再俾老抽落去啦。俾老抽，我呢個就唔適宜俾老抽啦。一蝦同埋嗰啲白肉唔適宜俾老抽，即係賣相啊嘛，即係你拎出嚟俾人食，色香味，色咩咧？有人睇出嚟嘅 colour， 一陣睇落去靚唔靚就識，到隻眼睇落去靚唔靚先，香咧就俾個鼻聞啦。一打出嚟就唔同啦，一睇出嚟唔同啊嘛，一睇出嚟靚先有食肉啊嘛，我睇落唔靚咁，咦咁係咪？
So Daddy did not add any soy sauce.
Yeah.
Like no light soy sauce, no dark soy sauce. That's why you don't look dark.
I see.
But if you want the darker color, just add 老抽.
Okay,
Add
okay.
dark soy sauce.
Yeah.
咁都有嘢咯。喂，阿爺得閒咯，阿爺得閒煮俾你食啦，係嘛？阿爺得閒。哦，做咩？
He says it's time to go to sleep.
It's time for bed.
Hello, dear fan, dear audience. Thank you again for you watching, you like, you share, you support, and we see you next time. Bye. See you next time.
Out of here. Goodbye. Say goodnight.
Say good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. I love Hong Kong Christmas.